Cold air clings to my coat like a warning. The kitchen is too quiet. No simmering, no laughter, just the refrigerator's dull hum and my own breath catching in my throat. Victor sits across from me, hands steady, eyes sharper than they have any right to be. He slides a folder over the table, cardboard scraping wood, loud, black marker, all caps. Thanksgiving, do not ignore. Your husband didn't vanish, he says, voice flat. He planned this. My phone buzzes in my palm, a charge alert from our joint account. Then a text. Cole, one line, no warmth. Don't ask questions, just do what Victor says. Victor leans closer. I smell peppermint and something dry like old paper. Open it, he murmurs, then decide if you're still his wife or his witness. My name is Marin, late 20s, the kind of tired that lives behind the eyes, the kind that doesn't go away with sleep. Because sleep comes in crumbs now, 2 hours here, 40 minutes there. Whenever my baby decides the world is safe enough to let go of, I told myself Thanksgiving would be a reset button. Cole said it like a promise, like a hand on my back at the edge of a cliff. Just show up, he'd begged, for family, for us. We'll start over. His voice had that practiced softness that used to melt me. Lately, it just scraped. So I came, diaper bag stuffed until the straps groaned, a pie balanced on my forearm, still warm, cinnamon leaking through the foil like comfort, hope tucked under my ribs like a fragile egg, and the second I stepped into this house, that egg cracked. No footsteps rushing to meet me, no shout from the living room, no chaos, not even the harmless mess of real people living. The air smells cleaned, almost polished. The family photos sit straight on the walls, like someone aligned them with a ruler. The silence is so perfect it feels staged. Cole is gone, not running late, gone, not in the garage, gone like the house is, holding its breath with me. Victor sits like he belongs to the quiet, like it answers to him, calm, sharp-eyed, not frail, just still. He watches me the way an ER nurse watches a patient walk in pretending they're fine. The folder is heavy in my hands, heavier than paper should be. I flip it open and my throat tightens immediately. Forms, dates, receipts. Names I don't know. Numbers that look like they could swallow me whole. This isn't just betrayal. This is planning. This is smiling while taking. If you've ever been used by someone who keeps their voice gentle while their hands steal your life, stay with me because what I found in that folder changed everything. The folder sits open between us like an accusation. My fingers won't stop moving. Thumb rubbing the edge of the paper again and again, like friction could erase what's printed there. I try to breathe through my nose. The air tastes like lemon cleaner and cold metal. Someone scrubbed this kitchen hard, too hard, like they were wiping away fingerprints, like they were wiping away a story. The refrigerator hums, not a friendly kitchen hum, a tired, old, vibrating in the bones hum. It fills the silence where people should be, where my husband should be. Victor watches me without blinking. I force my eyes off the page for half a second and let myself remember. Cole. Before all this, Cole, the steady man. That's what everyone called him when we were dating. The guy who always had a plan. The guy who remembered birthdays and changed the oil on time and held doors open like the world still meant manners. When he proposed, he did it in our tiny apartment kitchen, barefoot, holding 2 mugs of tea like an offering. No big crowd, no performance, just him looking at me like I was a sure thing. I'd wanted a sure thing. After enough messy love, the calm felt like safety. We got married fast, not reckless fast, life fast, the kind of fast you do when the person next to you seems like they'll catch you if you slip. He did at first. Then I got pregnant. Everything narrowed. Sleep, time, my body. The perimeter of my life shrank to doctor visits and grocery lists and tiny socks and wondering if I was doing it wrong. Cole stayed calm on the outside, calm voice, calm face, calm hands, but his calm started to feel managed, like he was constantly adjusting dials behind my back, like he was keeping the house at a temperature that suited him, not me. After the baby, I stopped being a woman he courted and became a system he maintained. Let's just combine finances, he'd said, sitting beside me on the couch while I tried to nurse with one hand and hold my phone with the other. For the future, for the baby. One account, one plan. He said it like unity. My postpartum brain was foggy, raw. My emotions had no skin. Everything hurt. So when he put the paperwork in front of me, I didn't read it as carefully as I should have. I signed where he told me to sign. He kissed my forehead after, like I'd done something sweet. And after that, the money started slipping. Not all at once, not enough to make me scream, just enough to make me doubt myself. 100 here, 200 there. I'd open the banking app in the dark while the baby slept on my chest, the glow of the screen making my eyes sting. I'd see a withdrawal and my stomach would tighten, and I'd ask him the next morning, casually, trying to sound like I didn't care. He would smile, soft, patient. Family stuff, he'd say. Family stuff became the answer for everything I wasn't allowed to question. Family stuff, when he missed my doctor appointment because he had to help his mum. Family stuff when he insisted we spend holidays at his mother's, even when I was exhausted. Family stuff when my freelance work slowed down because he needed my home more. And Darlene, his mother, she made sure I understood my place in that family. The first time she called my work a hobby, it was at dinner, like a joke everyone was supposed to laugh at. So how's your little hobby going? She'd asked, eyes bright, fork hovering midair. I'd smiled because I didn't know what else to do. My cheeks had burned. Cole had laughed too, like it was harmless, like it was cute. After that, she did it every time. Hobby, side thing, not real, not important. And if I ever defended myself, she'd tilt her head like I was being dramatic. Then she started in on my parenting. Are you sure you should be holding him like that? Are you sure he's warm enough? Are you sure you're producing enough milk? She said, are you sure? The way people say, you're failing. Cole never corrected her. He would squeeze my knee under the table like a silent command, don't make a scene. And Victor was always there, but not really there. A presence in the background, treated like furniture that might start talking if you weren't careful. They'd speak over him, speak around him, speak about him while he sat in the same room. He doesn't remember, Darlene would say, loud enough for him to hear. He gets confused, she'd add, like it was a punchline. He's lucky we take care of him, she'd say, as if caring for him was charity and not responsibility. Victor would sit with his hands folded, eyes lowered, and I used to believe the story. Frail, confused, diminishing. Now he's across from me, eyes clear as ice. And the house, God, the house feels wrong. It's cold in a way that isn't just temperature. It's the kind of cold that creeps under your collar and settles between your ribs. My boots squeak faintly on the tile when I shift my weight. That squeak is the loudest sound besides the fridge. I glance toward the hallway without meaning to, my mind still refusing the obvious. I half expect Cole to appear smiling, saying it's all a misunderstanding, but the details are wrong. The details don't lie. Cole's suitcase gone, the big one with the broken zipper that always caught on his shirts. Gone, but his phone charger is still plugged into the wall by the counter. The cord drapes down like a limp tail. If he planned to come back tonight, maybe he'd leave it. If he left in a panic, maybe he forgot it. If he wanted the house to look like he'd be right back, he'd leave it. His favourite mug is by the sink, the chipped one with the faded mountain print. A ring of dried coffee clings inside like a bruise. If he was truly leaving, vanishing, would he leave that behind? Or did he want me to see it and think he'd return? Did he want to keep me waiting? My jaw aches. I didn't realise I'd been clenching my teeth. My eyes dropped back to the folder. Paperwork, dates, receipts, lines and boxes and signatures. Names I don't recognise. A list of duties like I'm being assigned a role. The first page is an email thread printed out. The subject line bolded. My name is in it. Marin Hart, care arrangement confirmation. My pulse stutters. I never saw this email. Never. I checked the date. A month ago, the day after I went to my postpartum checkup. That day is a blur in my head. Me in a paper gown, cold air on my skin, the nurse's voice gentle, while my body felt like it belonged to someone else. I remember sitting in the car afterward, hands on the steering wheel, crying without sound because I couldn't explain the heaviness, because I was supposed to be grateful, because everyone kept telling me motherhood was beautiful, while I felt like I was drowning in plain sight. The day after that, this email thread exists. I swallow and my throat clicks. Dry. I read the lines. My eyes scan and my stomach starts to rise, slow and sour. Care agreement, primary caregiver, Marin Hart. Responsibilities include daily medication oversight, meal preparation, appointment transport, household maintenance. Failure to comply may result in... My fingers go cold. There's a signature on the last page. It looks like mine. The curve, the slant, the way the last letter trails off. But I didn't sign it. I didn't. My skin prickles like the air turned electric. I look up too fast and my vision swims. Victor is still watching me. He doesn't look smug. He doesn't look triumphant. He looks grim, like he's been carrying something heavy and ugly and he's finally set it down in front of me. I didn't sign this, I manage. My voice sounds thin, like it's coming through a wall. Victor nods once. You didn't sign that. His voice is quiet, certain. But someone needed it signed. The words hit me in the sternum. Needed it signed. Needed my name. Needed my consent. My mouth tastes metallic, like pennies. Like fear. I flip the page again, faster now, anger pushing through the shock, like heat under ice. Receipts, copies of cheques, a list of account numbers, partially blacked out. A typed note. Caregiver compensation. Redirect to family management. Family management. My eyes burn. The baby's carrier sits by the doorway. A soft blanket tucked around the edges. I can still smell his baby shampoo on my sleeve. This isn't just about me. It's about my child, about what kind of world Cole is building around us. A world where my name is a tool. My chest tightens and I inhale sharply, like I forgot how to breathe for a second. Cole begged me to come, I say, but it comes out like a confession, like I'm telling on myself. He said, fresh start. Victor's gaze doesn't soften, not because he's cruel, because softness is a luxury when you're in the middle of being robbed. He begged because he needed you here, Victor says, in this house, under this roof, with a timeline. A timeline. I squeeze my eyes shut for half a beat, then open them, forcing myself to look again. The lemon cleaner smell turns my stomach. It's too clean, like someone prepared a stage for a performance where I'm the villain. My hands start to shake, not delicate shaking, full body tremor trying to climb up my arms. I press my palms flat on the table. The wood is cold enough to sting. Victor reaches into the folder again with a movement that's careful, controlled. He sides out a photo print. My breath stops. A security camera still, grainy. Bank lobby, the date stamp at the bottom, The day after my postpartum checkup. Cole is in the frame. He's wearing the grey hoodie I bought him. He's smiling, casual, like he's ordering coffee. Beside him is Darlene. Sunglasses on top of her head, purse tucked under her arm, chin lifted like she owns the building. They're at the counter, and the teller is handing something over. A stack of something, an envelope, cash. My vision narrows until all I can see is Cole's mouth in that frozen smile. The ease of it, the comfort, the way he looks like a man doing something normal, like stealing from the people around him is just family stuff. My stomach lurches hard. Bile rises up my throat, hot and bitter. I swallow it down and it burns all the way back. My ears ring, a high, thin sound, like my body is trying to warn me with its own alarm system. I stare at the date again. My postpartum checkup. The day I sat in that car and cried quietly, thinking I was breaking for no reason. There was a reason. I was breaking because my life was being rearranged behind my back. Victor doesn't speak for a moment. He lets the image do what it does. My mouth opens. No sound comes out at first, then a whisper. They went to the bank? Victor nods. They went to the bank. And they used. My voice cracks. The shame is immediate and sharp, like a slap. They used me. The word used feels too small, too polite. My hands curl into fists against the tabletop. The tendons in my wrists stand out. I think of Cole's hand on my back, his voice in my ear. Just show up for family. I think of Darlene's smile. Are you sure? I think of myself signing papers half awake, baby crying, trust in the man who promised to catch me. My chest heaves once, twice, like my lungs are trying to push something out of me. I look at Victor again and realise something else, something colder. They did this to him too. They've been doing this to him for a long time. Victor's face is carved with patience that has curdled into resolve. He looks older than he did in my memory, not because he's frail, but because he's had to watch people he loved become predators. The silence in the house shifts. It stops being empty. It becomes loaded. My phone lies on the table near my elbow. The screen is dark now, but I can feel it like a pulse, like it's waiting to hurt me again. My throat tightens around a thought I don't want to say. Cole didn't vanish, he evacuated. He left me here because I'm useful here. My baby makes a tiny sound from the carrier. A soft, sleep-drunk sigh, and it snaps something inside me into place. A hard click. I won't let him grow up, thinking this is love. I won't let my name be a weapon in someone else's hand. I press my fingertips to the edge of the photo print. The paper is smooth, real, unforgiving. Victor's voice is low. Now you understand why I waited for you. My eyes sting. Not tears yet, just heat, just pressure. What do we do? I hear myself ask. My voice is small, but there's something underneath it now. A steel thread. Victor leans back slightly, like he's been holding his breath for weeks and can finally let it go. We tell the truth, he says, in a way they can't undo. The refrigerator hums. The lemon cleaner hangs in the air. The house stays cold. But inside me something starts to burn. My thumb hovers over Cole's name like it's hot. I press call anyway. 1 ring, 2. Then his voicemail, his recorded voice, cheerful, casual, fills my ear like an insult. Hey, it's Cole. Leave it, and I'll get back to you. My stomach drops so fast it feels like my organs shift, like my body is trying to catch up to what my brain already knows. I hang up. I try again because my hands are stupid with hope, even when my heart is screaming. Voicemail, I text. 3 words, where are you? Green bubble, no delivered. Just that empty space beneath it, like the message fell into a well and didn't hit bottom. I stare at the screen until my eyes blur. My finger taps out another, please call. Still nothing. Still that quiet refusal. The kitchen air feels thicker now, like it's holding me down. The lemon scent turns sour. My tongue tastes like metal again. Victor's voice cuts through it. "He blocked you." I look up, offended by the certainty, like he's stolen my last excuse. "He wouldn't—" I start, then stop. Because he would. He already did. Victor reaches into the folder again and his hands don't tremble. Mine do. "This is what he's doing," he says, and he slides a page towards me. "Not running, setting. Setting. Like a trap, like bait, like a stage." I read, and every line feels like a nail. A typed memo, neat, official looking, a care arrangement confirmation, a summary of agreed responsibilities, then a section that makes my throat tighten until I can barely swallow. Primary caregiver acknowledges full responsibility for medication oversight and daily care. Caregiver assumes liability for missed appointments and delays in treatment. In the event of incident, caregiver will cooperate fully with family counsel. Family counsel. My eyes flick to Victor's face. They're riding me into this. He nods once, slow. They're making you the story. I feel heat crawl up my neck, my cheeks burn, my skin prickles under my coat, but I can't bring myself to take it off. Taking it off would mean settling in. It would mean accepting that I'm stuck here. I didn't agree to any of this, I say. My voice comes out too loud, sharp and shaky, and it bounces off the clean walls. Victor doesn't flinch. "No. But they needed it to look like you did." My throat tightens around the word needed again. Needed like a requirement. Needed like they've done this before. I look down at the pages again, flipping with fingertips that won't stay steady. I see a company name in bold, Family Management LLC. My pulse thuds in my ears. "What is that?" I whisper. Victor's mouth tightens. "A bucket. A bucket?" I echo, stupidly. "A place to pour money into where it becomes harder to track," he says, "harder to pull back out, harder to prove." My stomach twists. There's a section in the file, attempted transfer request, amount, date, account number with asterisks. It's from Victor's accounts to the LLC. I lift my gaze and I feel something inside me shift again like a gear catching. "They're taking from you." "They've been taking," Victor corrects softly. "They're trying to take the rest." My jaw trembles once before I clamp it shut. Victor exhales through his nose and it's not tired, it's contained, like he's been holding rage in his chest for years and learned to breathe around it. "I suspected someone was using my identity," he says, and the words land heavy. Signatures, calls I didn't make, forms I didn't request. I stayed quiet because the moment I accused them, they would have moved faster. My skin goes cold. "So, you let it happen?" His eyes lift and pin me, not unkind but sharp enough to cut. "I watched it happen. There's a difference." I swallow. My throat hurts. My stomach feels hollow and boiling at the same time. "I gathered proof," he continues. "Dates, copies, notices they thought I didn't understand." I think about Darlene's voice. He gets confused. He doesn't remember. She didn't just dismiss him. She disarmed him. She turned his mind into a punchline so no one would listen when he spoke. And I believed her. A tight, ugly shame crawls up my ribs. It sits behind my breastbone like a stone. How many times did I smile politely at Darlene's little comments? How many times did I laugh with Cole when he said, "You know how Mum is"? How many times did I defend him? The memories come fast and mean, like they've been waiting for permission. Me on the phone with Leah, my best friend, insisting Cole was under pressure. Me telling my sister, he's a good man, he just has a lot going on. Me brushing off the withdrawals as mistakes because the alternative would have meant admitting I was married to someone who could look me in the eye and lie. Red flags, and I painted them beige, softened them, sanded them down until they fit into the shape of the life I wanted. Now I'm staring at paperwork that tries to make me the caretaker, the responsible party, the one who failed if anything goes wrong. If Victor collapses, it's my fault. If medications are missing, it's my fault. If an appointment is missed, it's my fault. I can see it already. Darlene crying to someone on the phone, voice trembling with fake grief. We were so worried, but Maren said she had it handled. My mouth fills with spit, bitter. They're going to blame me, I say. I don't mean to sound like a child. I do anyway. Victor nods, and something in his expression hardens. They always need a full person. The baby shifts in the carrier. By the doorway, a soft rustle of fabric. I glance over and my chest tightens. I picture someone pointing a finger at me while I'm holding my son, while I'm trying to keep him quiet, while I'm trying to keep him fed. I picture them saying my name like a verdict. I turn back to Victor. So, what do we do? He pauses, just long enough that my anxiety spikes again. Then he says, we don't chase them. The words hit a part of me that wants to run, to get in my car, drive until my hands stop shaking, drag Cole back by his collar and demand answers. Victor continues, calm like a metronome. We document them. We let them return to the consequences. Consequences. The word tastes clean, cold, like winter air. Before I can respond, my phone rings. Darlene. Her name on my screen makes my stomach tighten reflexively, like my body has learned what she does to me. Victor's eyes flick to the phone. He doesn't tell me what to do. He just watches. I answer. Marinan, Darlene sings, voice syrupy. Too sweet, too careful. Happy Thanksgiving, honey. My grip tightens around the phone until my knuckles ache. Where's Cole? A small pause. Barely there, then her tone stays smooth. Oh, sweetheart, don't start with that. You know he had to handle some things, family stuff. What things? I press. Oh, you know, she laughs lightly like I'm being silly. It's complicated. Listen, how's Victor doing? The way she says Victor makes my skin crawl, like she's forcing the name out through teeth. I glance at Victor. He gives nothing away. He's here, I say carefully. He's fine. Darlene hums, like she's tasting the word fine for flaws. You're keeping receipts, right? Receipts. My stomach turns over. My pulse bangs once. Hard. What? I say, voice thin. You know, she continues, too breezy. For all the care stuff, groceries, medications. It's just easier if everything's documented. No one wants confusion later. No one wants people asking questions later. My fingers go numb around the phone. I feel the blood drain from my face, leaving a cold film on my skin. And then I hear it. In the background, a voice over speakers, muffled, distant, but clear enough to slice through me. Final boarding call, another voice. Gate B. The rolling echo of a place with high ceilings and hurried footsteps, luggage wheels ticking over tile, an airport. My stomach drops again, but this time it doesn't just drop, it slams. She's travelling. She's not in her living room, calling to check on her stepfather. She's at an airport, playing concerned from a moving walkway. Cole didn't vanish alone. My throat tightens so hard it hurts. My voice comes out low. Where are you, Darlene? A pause. Longer now. Then a laugh that's a fraction too sharp. Oh, honey, don't worry about that. What matters is Victor. You're there. You've got it handled. She's not denying it. My mouth tastes like bile again. I swallow and it burns. I need Cole, I say. Now. Sweetie, she sighs like I'm exhausting her. He's busy. You know how men are under stress. Don't make this harder. Just take care of Victor. Be a team player. Team player. Like I'm on a roster. Like my role is to absorb impact. Victor's eyes narrow slightly, and I realise he hears enough of her tone even without the words. Darlene continues softer now, like she's putting a hand on my shoulder from miles away. And Marin, try not to get emotional. You just had a baby. It's normal to be a little bit sensitive, unstable, unreliable. They're building the picture already. The fragile new mum who can't handle pressure, the one who misunderstood things, the one who overreacted. My vision sharpens with anger. The shame flickers, tries to rise, and I crush it down. Happy Thanksgiving, I say, voice flat as a blade. Before she can answer, I end the call. My hand shakes so badly, the phone almost slips. The kitchen is silent again, except for the refrigerator. Hum. My breath is loud, ragged. Victor watches me like he's measuring what I'll do next. I heard an airport, I whisper. He nods once. They're away. My chest hurts. A tight band around my ribs. I press my palm to my sternum like I can pry it loose. They left us, I say, and the word us surprises me as soon as it's out. Victor's gaze holds mine. Yes, I look back down at the file. The LLC, the care agreement, the forged signature, the security photo, the attempted transfer. My hands stop trembling for a moment, replaced by a kind of stillness that feels unfamiliar in my body, like my muscles have decided the crying part can wait. Victor pushes another stack of papers toward me, a notebook, handwritten logs, dates and times, notes about missed medications, cancelled appointments, property tax notices, letters stamped final. I flip through them, and each page is a small horror, calm handwriting describing neglect in a voice that refuses to beg. He opens a drawer beside him, one I hadn't noticed, and pulls it out with a small click. Inside, envelopes, unopened, stacked, some with red print, some with thick paper, final notices. He didn't open them because opening them would mean acknowledging the game they were playing. Or maybe he didn't open them because he was saving them for this moment, for when someone finally looked at him like a person and not a burden. A knock sounds at the door. My whole body jolts. Adrenaline spikes, sharp and immediate. Victor doesn't move fast, but he turns his head toward the sound like he expected it. Another knock. Firmer. I stand before I realise I'm standing. My legs feel heavy, like I'm wading through cold water. I walk to the door, each step too loud in the quiet house. My fingers curl around the doorknob, cold metal biting into my skin. I open it. A courier stands there holding a thick envelope, clipboard in hand. "Delivery for Marin Hart," he says. My heart thuds once, hard. He holds out the clipboard. I sign automatically, my signature suddenly feeling like a weapon someone else can steal. He hands me the envelope. It's certified mail, my name printed neatly, my address, and through the clear window I see the words that make my vision narrow again. Notice of default. My breath catches, my stomach turns. Loan account number, past due amount. A loan I never took out. The envelope feels too heavy in my hand, like it's full of stones instead of paper. Behind me, Victor's voice is quiet, grim. "That," he says, "is what happens when you're the fall person." I stare at my name on the envelope until the letters blur. Somewhere in the house, my baby sighs again in his sleep. Small, innocent, unaware, and I feel something inside me go very still. Not numb, focused, like the part of me that used to beg for love has finally stepped aside, making room for something sharper. I close the door slowly, the latch clicking into place like the beginning of a lock. Then I turn back to Victor with the envelope in my hand. My voice comes out low, steady. "Okay," I say, "now we build our own file." I take the envelope with my name on it and my hand starts shaking again, the tremor crawling up my wrists like something alive. I can't let it show. Not in front of him, not in front of this kitchen that feels like it's listening. I walk fast, too fast, and the floor creaks under me like it's trying to stop me. Bathroom, I shut the door behind me, and the click of the lock is the first real sound of safety I've heard since I stepped inside this house. I lean my forehead against the wood, and then I break. Not out loud, I can't. The baby, my breath goes ragged, pulled in through my teeth, held, released in tiny silent bursts like I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm drowning. My hands fly up to my mouth automatically, palm pressed hard over my lips because a sob wants out. And it feels animal, it feels huge. My chest cramps, my stomach twists. The air in the bathroom smells like mint and something floral. A cheap air freshener trying to cover up something else. The light above the mirror flickers once, twice, and it makes my pulse jump like I'm being watched, even here. I look down at my left hand, the ring, gold band, simple, smooth, the kind of ring people call timeless. It suddenly looks like a shackle, like I've been wearing a lie on my skin so long it left an imprint. It feels heavier than it should, like gravity found it and decided to punish me with it. My thumb rubs it, back and forth, back and forth. A year ago, rubbing it meant comfort. It meant mine. Now it feels like evidence, like a fingerprint, like something that could be used against me the way my signature was used against me. My throat tightens. I stare at my reflection and my eyes look wild, too bright. My cheeks flushed in patches like my body can't decide whether to freeze or burn. There are faint purple shadows under my eyes, proof of newborn nights, proof of softness, proof to them that I'm easy to push. I squeeze my eyes shut. I try to hear the house beyond the bathroom door. Silence, no baby crying. Good. Stay asleep, sweetheart. Please. I open my eyes again, and my reflection looks like a stranger who walked into the wrong life, a woman who believed in a steady man. I swallow, and the swallow hurts. My fingers curl around the edge of the sink until the porcelain bites into my skin. The cold anchors me. It's real. It's something that doesn't change shape based on whoever's lying. A knock taps the door. Soft, not intrusive. Marin? Victor's voice? Calm, like a hand offered. Palm up. I don't answer right away. My lungs won't cooperate. Marin, he repeats quieter. Open up. You're safe. Safe. The word lands wrong in my body. I haven't felt safe in months. I've felt managed, directed, kept. I unlock the door and open it just enough to look out. Victor stands in the hallway, holding a mug. Steam rises from it in slow curls. The smell hits me. Black tea and honey. Warm. Familiar. Human. He doesn't look at my face like I'm a problem. He looks at me like I'm a person. He holds the mug out. My fingers close around it and the heat bites through my skin in a good way. It stings life back into my hands. Drink, he says. Small sips. Your stomach's in knots. That's the thing. He's right. He didn't ask if I'm okay. He named what's happening inside me like he can see it. I take a sip. The heat slides down my throat, and it's like the tea makes a path through the tightness, widening it just enough to breathe. I step back and he steps into the bathroom with me like he belongs here, but he keeps space. He doesn't crowd. He leans against the wall opposite the sink, arms loosely crossed, watching my hands more than my face. This isn't your fault, he says. The words hit a nerve I didn't realise was exposed. My eyes sting. I shake my head small. It feels like it is. It's not, he repeats, firmer, but it is your moment. Moment. My mouth opens, closes. The tea trembles in the mug. My moment to what? I whisper. To stop letting them write the story, Victor says. His voice is low, steady, like he's talking someone off a ledge. They like stories. They like narratives. They like a neat villain. They like an easy scapegoat. I blink hard. You, he he adds. Are convenient, the word slices. I swallow. He nods toward my hand. How long have you been wearing that ring? Like a promise you can't question. My thumb freezes on the band. I can't answer. I don't have to. The silence answers. Victor's gaze doesn't move away. They count on women like you, not wanting to look cruel, he says, not wanting to look dramatic, not wanting to look like the bad guy. My jaw tightens until my teeth ache. I take another sip, and my body steadies around it like warmth is a spine. Victor exhales. I need to tell you something before you go back out there. My grip tightens on the mug. Okay. He reaches into the inside pocket of his cardigan and pulls out a phone. Old, not shiny, practical, the kind of phone that looks like it's used for work, not photos. He taps the screen, then holds it toward me. A list of audio files, dates, times, names. My mouth goes dry again. What is that? I whisper. Recordings, he says, conversations, calls, meetings. He watches my face carefully. Legal in this state, the way I did it. My pulse jumps. You've been recording them, he nods once. For months, a flare of something, shock, relief, anger, moves through me like electricity, too fast to name. Because you suspected the money, I say. Because I knew the money, he corrects, and I suspected the next step. I stare at the screen until the dates blur. You planned this, I breathe. Victor's expression doesn't soften, it sharpens. No, he says quietly, I prepared for it. Prepared, that word feels different. It doesn't feel dirty. It feels clean, like a door bolt sliding into place. I look at him. You're not confused. Victor's mouth twitches. Not a smile, not quite. I let them believe what kept them careless. My skin prickles. You let your own family treat you like... The words jam in my throat, like furniture, like air. Victor's eyes flick toward the mirror, then back to me. People show their truth when they think you can't hold them accountable, he says. I wanted their truth. I swallow. And you were testing, I whisper, the realization making my stomach roll. Who would treat you like a person? Victor doesn't deny it. He holds my gaze like a challenge I didn't know I needed. I've had nurses, he says. I've had neighbours. I've had distant relatives who sent cards, but in this house, his voice tightens for the first time. In this house, I was a problem to manage. My throat burns. He gestures slightly with the phone. Cole learned from his mother. He believes the world is paperwork and pressure, signatures and silence. I set the mug down on the sink with a tiny clink because my hands are starting to shake again, not from panic this time, from anger. Anger is hot. Anger is clear. Anger steadies my knees. I straighten slowly, rolling my shoulders back like I'm putting my body back on properly. I'm not begging him to come home, I say, surprised by how certain my voice sounds. Victor's eyes narrow, approving. I stare at my reflection again. The ring flashes under the bathroom light. I'm not chasing him, I continue, voice quiet but hard. I'm not pleading. I'm not explaining. I'm not performing calm so they can call me reasonable while they ruin me. My chest rises, falls. I will stop him, I say. I will stop him from turning me into the woman they point at. Victor nods once, like he's been waiting for that sentence. The phone in his hand buzzes. My phone buzzes too, almost at the same time, like the house itself is ringing. I grab mine. Cole calling. My pulse spikes, my fingertips go cold. Victor doesn't move. He just watches me, and for the first time I see it. He's not surprised. He expected this. He knows the rhythm of Cole's control, the timing of it. I swipe to answer. Finally, Cole's voice comes through, sharp with irritation, like I interrupted his day. No, are you okay? No, where's the baby? No, what's going on? Just annoyance. My stomach flips. "Where are you?" I ask, and my voice shakes once on the last word. He exhales hard like I'm exhausting him already. "Maren, stop, just stop." I feel my eyes widen. The audacity hits like a slap. "Stop what?" I whisper. "Stop digging," he snaps. "Just take care of Victor. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Like the house is a crime scene and I'm the intruder." My fingers curl around the phone until it hurts. Why is there paperwork with my signature? Silence. Not a quick silence. Not a "what are you talking about" silence. A pause. A long pause. Too long. I can hear faint noise behind him, muffled voices, a clatter like he's in a public place. Like he's not alone. Then he speaks and his tone changes to something familiar, soft, controlled, the voice he uses when he wants to reframe reality. "Maren," he says like I'm a child, "you're stressed. You just had the baby. Don't start drama." There it is. He doesn't deny it. He diagnoses me. He turns my body, my postpartum body, my tired body into his excuse. My vision narrows. The pause before his answer spreads through my chest like ink in water, dark and certain. That pause is everything. It's guilt. It's calculation. It's the moment he decided whether to keep lying or to change tactics, and he chose tactics. The betrayal isn't a mistake. It's a system, a practice machine made of smiles and paperwork and people telling me I'm too emotional to see what's happening. My voice comes out low. "You forged my signature." "Don't," he starts, sharp. "You did," I say, and the words are quiet, but they land heavy, like a stone dropped into deep water. "And you left me here, so if anything goes wrong, it's on me." His breath stutters. "You're being paranoid." Paranoid, I almost laugh, but it would come out broken. "Call me back when you're ready to tell the truth," I say. "Maren." I end the call. My hand shakes after. Not because I regret it, but because my body is still learning that I'm allowed to do that, allowed to hang up, allowed to not plead, allowed to not be managed. Victor's gaze stays on me. "That pause," he says quietly, "was your answer." I nod. My mouth tastes like copper, but my spine feels straighter. Victor walks past me into the hallway, and I follow, steps light and sharp now, like I'm moving with purpose instead of panic. He leads me back to the kitchen. The folder is still open on the table, like it's waiting. Victor reaches into a drawer I didn't notice before. He pulls out another folder, thicker, darker, edges worn from handling. He sets it down in front of me with both hands like he's placing a weight. The label is typed and taped across the front. The clean exit. My throat tightens. Victor's voice is steady. "I found it in Cole's desk 2 months ago." I stare at the words until they feel unreal, like my life is a file in someone else's cabinet. "What is it?" I whisper, even though I already know. Victor's eyes lift to mine. His plan, he says, step by step. How to isolate you, how to control what you tell people, how to make you look unstable, how to make you responsible for everything he doesn't want to be responsible for. My skin goes cold, then hot, then cold again. I reach for the folder and my fingertips hover for half a second, afraid of the truth, like it's a burn. Then I touch it. Cardboard, tape, paper, real. I open it, and the first page is a checklist with my name in it. My breath catches. The room feels smaller. The refrigerator hum becomes a roar, and I realise with a clarity that makes my stomach drop and my blood run cold. I wasn't invited here for Thanksgiving. I was assigned. The words, "the clean exit," sit in my brain like a bruise you can't stop pressing. Checklist, my name, my baby's name, little boxes to tick like our lives are errands. My hands go numb, then hot, then numb again. It's like my body can't decide what kind of emergency this is. Fight or flee, scream or smile. Victor doesn't rush me. He lets me stare at the page until the letters stop swimming, and then he says very quietly, if you're going to do anything, do it clean. Clean. No rage mistakes, no impulsive calls, no drama they can film and twist, no threats, no breaking anything, no doing anything that would make their story easier to sell. Just truth, timing, paper. I swallow. The inside of my throat feels scraped raw, like I swallowed sand. I want to burn his life down, I whisper. Victor's eyes don't flinch. Then don't touch a match. He says, touch the record. A strange sound leaves me. Half laugh, half sob, because the irony is sick. My husband wrote a plan called The Clean Exit, and Victor is telling me the only way out is to be cleaner than them. I nod once. My jaw aches from clenching. Rules, Victor says, and he taps the table with one finger like a gavel. No violence, no illegal stunts, no calls that can be edited, no messages you wouldn't want read in court. Court. The word makes my stomach tighten again, but it also straightens something in my spine. Because court means evidence. Court means language that doesn't care about charm. I look down at my ring again and don't touch it this time. I just let it sit on my hand like an object, not a vow, not an excuse. Step 1, Victor says, protect yourself. I exhale through my nose slow, like I'm trying to keep my lungs from turning into a siren. We move into the living room because the kitchen feels too exposed. The baby is still asleep. Thank God. I tiptoe past the carrier like it's a landmine. Victor sits at a small desk near the window. The light is thin and grey, like the day itself is holding back. He slides me a notepad, a pen. My fingers wrap around the pen, and my hand steadies around it like it was meant to hold something sharp. Right, he says, you'll forget details later. Shock steals memory. I write today's date at the top, and it looks too normal, like a grocery list header, like I'm not writing this with my heart trying to crawl out of my chest. Step 1, separate accounts. I pull out my phone again and log into the banking app. My fingertips are ice on the screen. The joint account balance makes my throat close. It's lower than it should be. Again. I start moving what I can. Not everything, just enough to keep diapers and formula and a roof if everything collapses. I make a new account if I have to. I do it with hands that barely feel like mine. Victor watches, silent, then passwords. Email first. I change it. I change the recovery number. I change the recovery email. I turn on every lock I can find, like I'm bolting windows in a storm. My social account's next. Not because I care about posting, because I care about being impersonated. Because Cole tagging me like a prop suddenly feels possible. My stomach churns as I reset everything. Each successful notification is a tiny breath. Then credit. I look up how to freeze it. My hands sweat as I type, like the act of protecting myself is an offence, like somewhere in the air, Darlene can smell me getting smarter. Victor nods once when I finish. Good, my eyes burn. I blink hard. P.O. Box, he says. New mail. New address for anything financial. You don't want letters going to your apartment where he can intercept them. My apartment, our apartment. The word our scrapes now. I write, P.O. Box, tomorrow. Then the lawyer. I hesitate, my throat tightens. I don't have money for... Victor lifts a hand. You don't need a courtroom today, he says. You need advice, a consult, someone who speaks their language. He gives me a name, a local attorney he trusts, a person who doesn't charm easily. I write it down. Step 1 is protection, not revenge. My chest aches at that, because revenge would feel satisfying. Protection feels like admitting how bad it is, but I do it anyway. Victor leans back slightly and folds his hands. Step 2, he says, flip the story. I look up. How? Care log, he says. Real, consistent, undeniable. We start immediately. I open my notes app and a notebook, both. Digital and paper, redundancy, Victor insists. Meal, what I fed him, time, receipt, medication, what he took, time, photo of the bottle, photo of the pill count if it makes sense, visits, anyone who comes by, name, time, what they saw, temperature in the house, because the cold isn't just discomfort, it's neglect, it's a choice. I move through the house like a careful ghost, taking pictures of what matters, the thermostat, the empty fridge, the final notices in the drawer, the untouched medications, the state of the pantry. My hands shake less now because my mind has a job. Collect, document, don't fall apart yet. When I find the medication bottles, my stomach flips again. Refill date, pill count, it doesn't match. I take photos from different angles. I place a coin beside the bottle for scale because Victor says scale matters. I hate that I'm learning this. Then I write it down. I set alarms on my phone for his medication schedule, not because I'm convinced he needs me, because I refuse to become the negligence they're trying to pin on me. I cook something simple, soup and toast, because the act of feeding someone feels like rebellion in this cold house. The smell of warm broth rises, and for a second my eyes sting because it smells like normal life. Victor eats slowly, quietly. He doesn't praise me. He doesn't pity me. He just receives care like it's not a burden, like it's allowed. And that makes my throat tighten again. Step 3, Victor says after, wiping his mouth with a napkin, like a man who hasn't forgotten dignity. Set the stage! My stomach knots. For what? For when they return, he says, and his voice hardens. They won't return to apologise, they'll return to control the narrative. I picture Cole walking in, acting irritated, telling me I'm dramatic, telling Victor he's confused. I picture Darlene scanning the room, looking for what I found, looking for what I touched. My skin crawls. Victor continues, we invite them back here, on purpose, on our timing, our make-up dinner. A dinner? My voice comes out thin. After this? Victor's gaze is steady. Yes, because they will come if they think it benefits them. They will come if they think there's something to gain. I swallow hard. And we invite a neutral witness, he adds, someone they won't perform as well around. My mind searches faces, names, people who've seen Darlene's mask slip, a neighbour, a family friend, a pastor, someone who can say later, I was there, I heard it, I saw it. I nod slowly. My stomach is tight, but my head is clear. My phone buzzes. A text from Darlene. My body reacts before my mind does. Shoulders tensing, stomach dropping, a familiar dread sliding under my skin. I open it. Just checking in, honey. Remember, you're married to Cole. Don't embarrass the family. My hands go cold. It's dressed like concern, but it's a threat. Don't embarrass the family. Meaning, don't expose the truth. Meaning, stay in your place. Another message arrives right after, like she couldn't stop herself. And please be careful what you say to people. Victor gets confused and you don't want anyone misreading things. Misreading. My jaw clenches so hard my molars ache. I don't reply. Victor watches my face. Screenshot, he says. I do. I save it. I email it to myself. I back it up. My phone buzzes again. This time a notification from social media. Cole posted. I click before I can stop myself, like my thumb is addicted to pain. There he is, smiling, sunlight on his face, a drink in his hand. Background looks like a resort or a beach bar. Caption, fresh starts. And he tagged me. My name sitting under his photo like I'm applauding from off-screen. My stomach turns so violently, I have to swallow bile again. I can feel my pulse in my fingertips. My hands want to throw the phone. My mouth wants to call him. My chest wants to scream. Instead, I take screenshots. I zoom in on the timestamp. I capture the caption, the tag, the comments. I build a timeline in my notes. While I'm here, while Victor is here, while the house is cold and the bills are unopened and my baby is sleeping in a carrier near strangers, Cole is posting fresh starts. I don't comment, not one word, because any comment becomes part of his story, part of his performance. Silence is my shield. Victor nods as if he can feel the temptation I'm resisting. Good. Then he says something that makes my skin prickle for a new reason. They've been borrowing against something they don't own. I blink. What? Victor's mouth tightens. This property. The way it's held, the way it's titled. He taps the folder with one knuckle. They think it's family. They think it's theirs by default. My heart thuds. It's not? Victor's eyes stay on mine. Not the way they believe. A cold thrill slides through me. Fear's cousin. Not joy. Not yet. Just the sense of a lever hidden behind a wall. He doesn't explain everything. He doesn't have to. The point is simple. They built their plan on assumptions, and assumptions are fragile. The doorbell rings. My whole body tightens again. I glance toward the baby, still asleep, still safe. Victor lifts a hand, calm. I'll handle it, he says, but I follow anyway, quiet-footed, heart-banging. Victor opens the door, and there's a man standing there, Cole's cousin Ethan, the helpful one, always too friendly, always asking questions that aren't his business. Hey, Ethan says, voice bright, eyes scanning past Victor into the house. Just stopping by to check on you. Cole said you might need help. Cole said. My stomach flips. Of course he did. Victor smiles, small and polite, and it looks practiced. How thoughtful, he says. Come in. Ethan steps inside and his ears flick around like he's counting exits. He looks at the carrier. Oh, the baby's here too? I keep my face blank. My palms sweat. Ethan's gaze slides toward the hallway, toward the study, toward any place papers might live. Victor doesn't stop him. That's the part that chills me. Victor lets him drift, lets him wander in polite little arcs, lets him ask questions. How's your health, Victor? Ethan says, but he isn't looking at Victor's face. He's looking at the desk, the drawers. Victor answers gently. Day by day. Ethan nods, then glances at me. Marin, you holding up? Must be a lot. New mum and all. The way he says new mum makes my skin crawl, like it's a weakness he can press. I'm fine, I say, voice flat. Ethan smiles wider, like he's trying to hook me into talking. Cole's been stressed too. You know how it is. Everyone's doing their best. My jaw tightens. Victor shifts slightly, and I notice for the first time a small camera in the corner of the living room. Not obvious, but there. Another in the hallway. My breath catches. Victor catches my glance and gives the smallest nod. Cameras. He's letting Ethan snoop because he wants it recorded. My pulse steadies into something colder. Calculation. Ethan wanders toward the hallway. Mind if I use the restroom? Of course, Victor says, easy. Ethan disappears down the hall. My stomach knots. My fingers curl. I want to follow. I want to stop him, but Victor's gaze holds me in place like a hand on my shoulder. Let him be, Victor murmurs, barely moving his lips. I stand still, nails digging into my palm, listening. A drawer opens somewhere down the hall. A soft scrape, a pause, then a flush, water running. He returns with the same smile, too smooth. All good, he says. Victor nods. Thank you for checking in. Ethan's eyes flick to the desk one last time before he leaves. Tell Cole I stopped by, he says like he's reporting. Victor smiles. Oh, he'll know. The door closes. The house exhales. My body shakes once, a quick, involuntary shudder. He was looking for the files. Victor nods. Yes. And you let him? Yes. The calm in Victor's face is unnerving, but it also gives me something I haven't had in months. Structure. This isn't chaos. It's a chessboard. My phone buzzes again, another notification from the email I changed earlier. A security alert. Someone tried to log in. Wrong password. Location unknown. My stomach drops and then hardens. They're trying already. I open the certified envelope, notice of default, and my eyes lock on a detail I missed before. Origination date. The date is the same as my postpartum hospital visit. My breath catches so sharply it hurts. They forged something while I was in that hospital bed, while my body was split open, while I was shaking, while I was learning how to breathe through pain and hold my baby with trembling hands. They used that day. They used my vulnerability like a window left unlocked. My vision blurs, not with tears yet, but with a kind of red heat that makes my scalp tingle. I look up at Victor and my voice comes out like a vow. They did this when I couldn't even stand straight. Victor's eyes sharpen. Yes, he says, and that is why we do not break anything. My breath is loud in my ears. What do we do? I ask, but it's not panic now. It's readiness. Victor reaches for the notebook, flips to a clean page and slides it towards me. We keep building, he says, and when they come back, we let them walk into the truth they tried to bury. My hand closes around the pen. It doesn't tremble this time, not even a little. The waiting is its own kind of pain. It stretches, it tightens. It makes every small sound feel like a threat. The heater clicking, the fridge humming, the baby's soft breathing, like a metronome keeping me from falling apart. Victor sits in his chair near the window, hands folded, still, quiet, like the calm centre of a storm he's already measured. I keep checking the same things over and over because my body needs something to do. The care log on the table, the folder stacks aligned, the screenshots backed up, the recorder charged. The neutral witness, Mrs. Halley from next door, arrives early, coat buttoned to her chin, her eyes sharp with a kind of moral certainty I envy. I don't like what your mother-in-law's done to that man, she whispers to me when Victor isn't looking, and I don't like what they've done to you. My throat tightens. I nod once, because if I speak, my voice will crack, and I refuse to crack before they walk in. The baby wakes fussy right before noon. Of course he does. His timing is always honest. I feed him, bouncing gently, breathing in his warm, milk-sweet breath, letting it steady me. His tiny fingers curl around my sweater like an anchor. Then sound, car doors, laughter, voices too loud for this house. My blood goes cold. Footsteps on the porch. The front door swings open like they own the air. Cole walks in first, sun on his face like he's been living in another world. Darlene behind him, sunglasses still perched on her head, a bright scarf like a flag of confidence. They carry bags, little shopping bags, like souvenirs, like the last few days were a normal holiday. They don't pause, they don't look guilty, they look rehearsed. Hey, Cole's voice is warm, easy, like we're meeting at a restaurant, like he didn't leave me holding his mess. His gaze lands on me and brightens. There you are. I've been trying to. He stops when he sees the table, the folders, the notepad, Mrs. Halley, sitting near the edge of the living room, hands clasped like she's waiting for a sermon. Cole's smile wavers for half a second. Then he recovers. Always the steady man. Maren, he says, stepping closer, voice dropping into that soft register he uses when he wants to guide me. I'm sorry, things got complicated, but I'm here now, okay? We're good. We're good. My stomach twists. My skin prickles. He reaches for the baby like it's the ultimate distraction. Let me see him, Cole says, hands out, palms up, like a peace offering. My arms tighten around my son automatically, not a conscious choice, a reflex, my body saying no before my mouth can. Cole's expression flickers, tiny irritation. Then he covers it with charm. "Come on," he murmurs, trying to laugh. "Don't be like that. I missed you guys." Darlene steps in, clucking her tongue. "Maren, honey, you look exhausted, poor thing. I told Cole you've been under so much stress. New baby, and then Victor's. You know." She waves a hand like Victor is a weather event. "It's a lot." Victor doesn't move. He doesn't greet them. He doesn't scold them. He just sits, eyes forward, calm as stone. That stillness is louder than any accusation. Cole shifts, uncomfortable, then turns the charm toward Victor. "Hey, Vic," Cole says, voice bright. "Sorry about all this. Mum needed a break and—" Victor lifts his gaze. For the first time since they walked in, the room feels like it belongs to him. "Sit down," Victor says. Not a request, a placement. Cole blinks, then laughs lightly as if this is normal. "Sure, yeah, of course." Darlene's smile tightens, but she sits too, smoothing her scarf, posture perfect. Cole tries to angle his chair closer to me, like he can separate me from Victor with furniture and proximity. Victor doesn't let him. Victor reaches to the table, picks up one page, and slides it forward like a dealer laying down a card. "Do you recognise this signature?" he asks. The question lands like a slap. Cole's eyes dart to the paper, then to mine, then away again. Darlene leans forward, lips pursed. "Victor, what are you doing? You're confusing yourself." Victor doesn't look at her. "Do you recognise it?" he repeats, calmer. Cole clears his throat. "I mean, it looks like Maren's, but she's been stressed. Maybe she forgot signing—" My stomach surges, hot and bitter. Stress, always me being too tired to remember my own life. Victor's voice stays even. "Maren says she didn't sign it." Cole's gaze snaps to me. Warning, soft threat wrapped in concern. "Maren, don't do this, not in front of—" His eyes flick to Mrs. Halley. "Not in front of people." People, witnesses. He knows. His body knows. His voice changes when there are witnesses. Mrs. Halley sits straighter, eyes narrowing. She says nothing, but her presence presses on the room like weight. Victor lifts a small device, his phone, and taps the screen. A recording begins. Cole's voice fills the room, tinny but unmistakable. "I never touched Victor's accounts. Never. That's Mom's thing." My breath catches. My skin goes ice cold. Cole's face drains, a slow wash of colour, leaving him like he's being emptied. Victor taps us again. Another audio clip. Darlene's voice now, sharp, impatient. "If Maren wants to stay in this family, she'll do what she's told. She can be useful for once." My throat tightens so hard it hurts. My arms tighten around the baby. He squirms, sensing the tension, little whimpers, rising like a warning. Cole's jaw clenches. "Victor, you can't," he starts. Victor taps again. A bank timestamp, read aloud, a date, an amount. The words transfer request and family management LLC. The room changes. It stops being a family living room. It becomes a place where lies can't breathe. Darlene stands abruptly, chair scraping. "This is ridiculous," she snaps. "He's confused. He's been confused. Maren is manipulating him. There it is," Victor says quietly. Darlene freezes. Victor's gaze stays locked on her. "That's what you do. When facts show up, you accuse someone else of holding the pen." Darlene's mouth opens, closes. Her eyes flash toward me with a hatred so clean it almost startles me. She doesn't hate me because I did something wrong. She hates me because I didn't stay small. Cole turns toward his mother, then back to Victor, voice rising. "This is a setup. Maren's been digging through things, getting into your head." Victor lifts one finger, just one, and the room hushes again. "My head is fine," Victor says. "It's your story that's collapsing." Cole swallows. His Adam's apple bobs. His eyes dart to the folders like they're snakes. He leans forward, trying to regain control through intimacy. Marin, he says softly, like we're alone. Come on, we can talk privately. This doesn't have to be... No, I say, and the word comes out colder than I expect. It surprises even me. Cole blinks like he hasn't heard me say no in years. Victor slides another document forward. The care agreement, the attempted LLC transfer, the default notice tied to a date Marin was in the hospital. He looks at Cole. You didn't vanish. You engineered a fall. Cole's mouth opens. He looks at me again, this time without charm, just calculation and panic. Darlene's voice cracks into a shrill pitch. He's old! He doesn't understand. This is elder confusion and postpartum confusion. And Mrs. Halley finally speaks, her voice low and firm. Don't you dare lump his clarity in with her exhaustion like it's a flaw. Darlene's eyes widen, offended. Excuse me? Mrs. Halley doesn't flinch. I've listened to you talk about him for years, like he's an object, like he's in the way. I'm not playing dumb today. Darlene's mouth tightens until her lips are a white line. Cole's shoulders sag slightly, like he's realising the room is not his. Victor reaches for the thick folder, the clean exit, and sets it on the table with care, like he's placing a headstone. Cole's eyes lock on it, and something in his face changes. Recognition, fear. Victor opens it to a page and turns it so Cole can see. A checklist, Cole's handwriting, my name. Do you want to explain this? Victor asks. Cole's voice comes out rough. He swallows. That's not what it looks like. My stomach flips. The same line. Every time. Victor's voice stays quiet, surgical. It is exactly what it looks like. Darlene's hands start fluttering at her scarf, tugging, smoothing, tugging again, an anxious loop. Her eyes dart around the room like she's looking for a crack to escape through. Victor's next words land like a door slamming shut. I updated my estate plan, he says. Darlene stills. What? Cole's head lifts fast. Greed flashes so quick it's almost invisible, but I see it. I feel it in my gut. Victor continues. Calm. It does not reward neglect. It funds causes I chose and it names a trustee. Cole's lips part. Victor! Victor looks at me. Marin. My breath stops. The baby's warm weight in my arms anchors me as the room tilts. She protected the truth, Victor says, when the easiest thing would have been to fold. That matters. Darlene's face contorts. You can't give it to her. She's not blood. Victor's eyes sharpen. Blood isn't character. Cole's voice drops, urgent, desperate. Victor, please, we can fix this. Don't do this to me. There it is. Not I'm sorry, not I hurt you. Just don't do this to me. Cole turns to me, eyes glossy now, voice softening into something almost tender. Marin, he says, please. You don't understand. Mum pushed things. I was trying to... Stop, I say. One word. Enough. My hand goes to my ring. The gold band slides off with a faint resistance, like my skin is reluctant to let go of the story it wore. I place it on the table between us. A small sound, a soft click. But it feels like a gunshot. Cole stares at it like it's a curse. I lean forward slightly, voice low, so steady it scares me. You didn't vanish, I say. You volunteered to be exposed. Cole's mouth opens. No words come out. His face shifts through emotions like someone flipping channels. Anger, disbelief, pleading, shame, then emptiness because nothing fits anymore. None of his scripts work in this room. Darlene makes a strangled sound, half sob, half growl. This is betrayal, she spits, pointing at me as if I'm the criminal. I don't even look at her because I'm done being redirected. Cole stands slowly, like his legs don't trust him. His gaze flicks to the baby, then away, as if even that innocence is now a witness he can't manipulate. He looks at Victor one last time. "You're really doing this," he whispers. Victor doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't gloat. He just says, "You did it first." Cole's shoulders sag. No cuffs, no shouting match, no dramatic storming, just a man walking backward out of the story he thought he controlled, left with nothing but the sound of his own steps and the weight of the record behind him. The door closes. The click is final. And for the first time in a long time, the silence in this house doesn't feel staged. It feels earned. The house is quiet again, but it's a different quiet. Not the kind that feels staged, not the kind that makes my skin prickle like I'm being watched. This quiet feels like space, like air finally moving through rooms that have been holding their breath for years. I walk past the kitchen and the lemon cleaner smell is still there, sharp and artificial, but it doesn't choke me now. It's just a smell, not a warning. The refrigerator hum is still ugly, but it's honest. It isn't pretending. My wedding ring sits on the table where I left it. Small, ordinary. A circle of gold that used to feel like a promise and now feels like proof. Proof that I can put something down and not pick it back up just because it once belonged to me. Betrayal didn't start when Cole vanished. It started the first time he watched me swallow a question. The first time he learned I'd forgive what I couldn't prove. I hold my baby tighter as I cross the living room, his warm weight pressed to my chest, his tiny heartbeat stubborn and steady against mine. His fingers grab my shirt like he's claiming me, like he knows I almost got rewritten into someone else's story. My throat tightens, but the tears that come now aren't panic tears. They're release. Victor stands near the window, looking out like he's seeing something beyond the glass. When he speaks, his voice is quiet, not congratulating, not pitying. "You didn't just help me," he says. "You helped yourself. That's what they never planned for." I swallow hard. The words land deep, settling in my bones. Because love isn't proven by promises. It's proven by protection, by honesty, by the way someone handles your name when you aren't watching. I think about the paperwork, the forged signature, the sweet threats, the way they tried to rush me, sign here, agree there, stay quiet, don't embarrass the family. I think about how my body knew before my brain did, the tight throat, the nausea, the dread that never fully left. I won't ignore that again. Keep receipts of patterns, not just moments. Trust your gut when someone tries to hurry your consent. If you want more stories where the truth wins without crossing the line, hit like, subscribe, and comment exposed. Because sometimes the best revenge is a clean, undeniable record.